This is going to be a bit of a beginner type movement process, working through some rockers. If you have a fabric band like this, it's great if you're still trying to figure out how to engage your glutes well on a rocker. You can put it around your thighs so you can help push out. I'm not going to wear it, but I wanted to have it here to show you guys. So you put it around your thighs, so when you're in that rocker position, you can press out against that on your thighs, and it'll help engage the glutes. So we're going to work through some rocker variations, some breathing, and I'm not sure how long this is going to be, max 20 minutes, but we're going to just work through basic rockers. So basic rockers, we're going to stay this position here. Our toes are in, our heels are out. We're going to push through the padded or the outside edge of our shins here into the ground to try and create engagement in our glutes. So when we push into our glutes here, or into our outside edge of our shin, we're just going to start to engage our glutes. You can start with your hands on the floor, and as you rock back, you're just going to start to feel those glutes engaging. Now we want to make sure that when we're rocking, we're not tucking our tailbone down. You want nice strong glute, nice strong lumbar spine here, right here, as we push back. You can do this with your hands on the floor. Use a yoga block or something a little higher, or a bench to put your hands on, whatever's going to help you feel those glutes engage. Probably work through each movement in about 1 minute intervals. So make sure you got some water, have your fabric band if you want, whatever bench, and we're going to get started. So the first minute, we're just going to rock, kind of warm everything up. So we're pushing on the outside edge of the blade here, outside of the shin, pushing our hips to the wall behind us, keeping a nice strong arch. If you feel too much pinching in the front of your hips and that hip flexor, adjust how much pelvic tilt you're doing, because too much tilt can pinch too much, but we don't want to be too untucked and using our hip flexors and our quads too much here. So we're just going to be rocking back and forth just a little bit. We don't need to go down too far, especially if you start to go down and your tail starts to tuck. You don't want to go that far. Stay where your tail doesn't start to tuck under, and don't come up too far. We don't need to be up. We just want to stay on that nice sweet spot where glutes stay engaged. If you're using that fabric band, think about pushing your thighs out against that band to engage those glutes. All right, let's just hold it here. Find a spot where you can hold. It's not too tense, but you're not completely released on those muscles and those glutes. You want to keep those engaged. Let's just hold it here. And I want you to breathe in through your nose for 4 or 5 counts and out through your mouth for the same. So let's go. Breathe in. 5, breathe out. 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last breath out. All right, let's tuck our toes into the mat and get into those rockers again. Again, pushing out on your band if you have it, or just on the outside edge of your shin here. We're just going to keep rocking back. If you're on a support, that's fine. If you're up higher, it's good. If you don't need support, that's fine too. Depends how much you want to work at this. Just going to rock this out here. This helps open up the bottom of your feet, makes them a little stronger. Again, make sure your toes are in and your heels are away while you do this. Making sure those glutes stay engaged, making sure you're not arching too much in your back, and you're not tucking your hips under too much. Just the right spot where we're engaging, our glutes are engaged, our lumbar spine's nice and engaged and strong, and we're not using the front side of our body. All right, again, we're gonna hold, find a nice spot where you can hold it without being too tense, but you're still working. And we're gonna go through those decompression breaths again. So breathing in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you breathe in, really fill in your chest and your upper back to really get a lot of air. And as you breathe out, expel all the air, feeling your core engaged even more as you push out all the air. So you're gonna breathe in, 5, breathe out. Breathe in, 5, breathe out. One more. Breathe out. All right, so from this rocker position, I want you to find that pressure. I want you to like put pressure more to one side. So you can leave the other leg down, but you're gonna go from your rock where you're putting pressure on both legs to like shift to the one glute and just rock it back here. So you can be with your head kind of over the same leg that you're loading here, doing a nice little side bend into this side. Or if you want, you can load up that side and pressurize up this way, or just kind of stay a little bit center. Again, if you need support, you will need to be higher. You can do that. You can cross one leg over the other here. You can cross one leg over the other here and rock it back. It just helps keep that ankle open a little bit. As we do this, just gonna keep rocking here for a little longer. Again, as we do this, we wanna make sure we're putting pressure to the outside edge of your shin, engaging that glute, your hamstring, your lumbar spine here. Not too much in your quad. Making sure you're also nice, like your core is nice and kind of zipped up, not like tight, like you're really engaging your core, but like just enough that everything just feels kind of nice and held in, if you will. Just keep rocking that side. Okay, let's find that hold and let's walk our hands to the opposite and find that hold. So I'm on my left side, gonna find that hold, and I'm gonna walk my hands to the right. So I'm still in a hold. What this is gonna do is stretch in here. So as you do your decompression breathing, breathe into the side here and really feel length gaining in here. So we're gonna breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. With each breath, you should be able to feel a little bit more length coming out in the side of your rib cage and into your abdomen and whatever. Anyway, breathe in. Breathe out. We'll do one more breath here. And then out. Really get a nice stretch. Just sit it back for a second here. Feel a nice stretch all along your left side or whatever side you're working on. All right, come out and let's find that right side load. So get into that rocker here. Find pressure on both sides. Shift the pressure to the one other side. I'm gonna go to my right and just rock out that side. Finding that glute, finding that hamstring, making sure you have a nice arch in your back here. So this is all engaged from here all the way up and into your lower back here and pushing back. But you can use that same breath, that decompression breathing, while you're in this work. Things are getting a little spicy back there, you can use your breath to work through it. If you need to take a break, you can take a break, but just try and work through it. Little rockers. Again, make sure we're not overextending our pelvic tilt here. We don't want to be under. We want just the right spot where nothing's pinching or working too much in the front, but our glutes are engaged. And our hamstring is on line 2 here. All right, let's find that hold. Here, find your spot. Now walk your hands to the opposite side of what you're loading to get that nice stretch. So I'm gonna get a stretch on my right side. I'm loading on my right glute. My hands are walking to the left here. And we're gonna go with those decompression breaths. So breathe in for 5. Breathe out. Making sure you stay engaged in that glute. With each breath, find length through this right side or whatever side you're on. One more breath. Breathe out. All right, let's come out of there. Take a quick water break. Give your glutes a little bit of a rest here. Okay, well, next we're gonna go into pigeon. So from the pigeon, we're gonna go back to the other side we started with. So I started with my left, so we're gonna go to the left side. The pigeon is, again, loading up that side, and then the other leg comes up and over and crosses and just hovers on the back. So from the side here, so as I'm a pigeon here, so my left leg pushing in the outside of the shin, loading up the glute, right leg just kind of flows back and forth. If you need to keep the back leg on the ground a little bit, that's fine. But when you bring it up and over, so you're gonna internally rotate this thigh, and then this leg kicks in this way at a bit of a 45, and then you're gonna rock it back here. Again, use support. If you need to be up higher, you need a bench. You can use a bench, you can use a yoga block. There you go. Start in our rocker. We're gonna get started here. So start in the rocker, shift to the leg you're gonna load. Other leg comes up and over, and then we're gonna rock it back here. I tend to have my hands opposite, like staggered, sorry, that's a better word to use, staggered as I do this. You can come up higher. If it feels too pinchy in that hip flexor, you want to be able to find a higher support on these pigeons. I find it sometimes it helps me on higher support for the pigeon. Just gonna rock it here for a good minute. Again, if it's getting too tough, use that breathing. Don't be in short breaths, use deep decompression breathing. Go as fast or as slow as you want. Feel like the slower you go, the more you can really focus on those muscles that you're using, those glutes and that hamstring and the lumbar spine. It's all working. It's all burning on me, so hopefully it's on you. If you have that band on during this, kudos to you. I'm not a huge fan of the band on pigeons, but that's because it's a really heavy band. Okay, let's just find a hold on this pigeon. I can turn. We're gonna find a hold on this pigeon. Wherever you're at, just hold it. And let's go into those nice breaths here. So we're just gonna hold, find a spot where you can really get in there and do some decompression breathing. So breathe in for 5 and out for 5. Breathe out. If you feel like you can go with less support to really engage, then do that. It's a little challenging to get into a hold without support on the pigeon. So I can do one hand. I could probably do both, but not today. Let's do one more breath here. There, let's come out of that. And let's work on finding the right side. So again, you need to start in your rocker, find that pressure, pushing through the outside edge of the shin. I don't know why I can't find that word that I need. So load up both sides, shift to the opposite side that you need to work on. Bring the other leg up, internally rotate that knee and thigh, and then you can get into that pigeon rocker here. And just rock it back. Again, make sure you're not pinching too much in that hip flexor. Make sure your quad isn't on line too much. We want to be focused more on our glute and our hamstring. So again, pushing on that outside edge of the shin. My hands are usually staggered, kind of a side bend into the side that I'm loading, and just pushing this back. If you need to be up higher to make sure you're not pinching too much, use a bench or a yoga block, or just whatever you have that can raise you up just a little bit more. Just gonna rock it out here. Use your breath if you need to, if it's getting a little tough. Rocking it out. If you have music on, go to the beat of the music. That's what I end up doing half the time, depending on the music I'm listening to. Doing rockers to a full song is, I don't know if I'm in the picture here. Doing rockers to a full song is challenging. If you want a challenge, find a song, get in your rocker, and go for the entire song. Okay, let's hold this here. Let's find a good sweet spot to hold where glutes engage. And go into those decompression breaths here. Breathe in for 5. And out. As you're breathing out, try and push a little bit more into the floor here with your shin. Engage that glute just a little bit more. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. One more breath. And out. All right, let's come out of that and take a water break. Let's do one more round of just the rockers, just to finish things off here. So if you want to make this a little more challenging, try without support, just to burn out those glutes here. We're just gonna burn them out. If you're doing no support, great on you. Whether you're using support or not though, try and make sure you keep those shoulders back and down and away from your ears, keeping your neck nice and loose and using your breath. We've got 1 minute here, so Get in there. You don't have to be using no support like I am. I'm just trying to burn it out a little bit here. I'm just gonna rock it out. Again, finding your breath in the rocker. If it's getting a little bit too spicy, do what you need to do to make sure you can get through this minute. Do a toe tuck if you want. Get those bottom of the feet open. Make sure you're not pinching in the front. You got just the right amount of pelvic tilt, that those glutes are working, your lumbar spine's working, making sure you're still tight in the front. We always want to be tight up front. Just everything's just kind of zipped up, rocking back. All right, we're gonna do a hold. So let's find the hold you want, whether you're using support or no support. And we're gonna do that last little breath here. We're gonna breathe in, breathe out. Keep those shoulders down. Again, as you breathe out, push a little bit more into the floor. Try and rip that piece of paper apart or stretch your band across. Almost done here. Another breath. One more. And out. And release. All right. Rock it back and forth. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. Do whatever stretching. Even like a pigeon stretch is kind of nice to do. Get down to a pigeon stretch here. Stretch out that glute in this position. You can be off to the side here. You can be over here. Whatever feels good in that stretch. The other side. Again, hold these for longer than what I'm doing. I'm just giving examples of what stretches you can do. So go here or here. Even be up if you want. And it's always nice to do a good forward fold to get nice stretch. So forward fold, feet straight. We're going to internally rotate our femurs in that hip socket just to gain more space in the front to be able to reach down. Reach as far as you can. If you need your yoga block because you can't get that far, that's fine. Stretch it. Your legs might feel, excuse me, a little shaky, and that's fine because we just worked them. So I know like right now I can feel everything in my thighs. My muscles are shaking because it's a little bit of an active stretch, kind of pushing down through the pad of my foot here. But I'm just trying to find a nice bit of length in my back here, my backside. So when we do that forward fold, internally rotate those thighs in the hip socket. Hips are going to go back and we go down. We're not rounding our back here. We're not here and like trying to round. Hip goes back, hips go back, back stays nice and flat, and then we reach for the floor that way. Just find our breath a little bit here. Try and enjoy those shakes. If you got the shakes, I got a little shake in my legs as I do this. Which each breath as you breathe out, try and find a little bit more length in the backside. Let your upper body kind of relax. Open up those shoulder girdle socket area. Let them hang. Continue with your decompression breathing. If you want to, hold both elbows and just kind of sway a little bit. Just do a couple more breaths here. One more big breath in. And out. Push all the air out, all of it. Get as deep as you can in that forward fold. And then come back down to your mat and rest. Hope you enjoyed that.